So much is going on, and that's why I titled this What's Been Going On and How to Keep Going On. So I think like the last time that I was actually on here doing a live, not like when I was at the event, I just got on, right, to be transparent, and that's my thing. That's my brand. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be transparent with you guys. If you are in the group, I ask the same thing from you, and I want to lead by example. So I just wasn't feeling it. Like some things that have been happening at work, and I just was not in the right headspace to come on here and to give you guys anything, right? And so instead of doing that, I'm like, let me back up. Let me refresh and pour into me so that I can pour into you. So that was the whole thing about that. And that was a couple of weeks ago. Then after that, I had a couple of events. So if you guys have been following along in the group, the Align group on Facebook, if you're in that group, if you're not in that group, please go there. So YouTube, Instagram, go there to kind of follow along. I told you guys I was taking you guys with me to Miami. So last week, was that last week? Last week, we went to Miami, and I took you guys along with me and through the journey and that process. And the whole point of me going there is I attended this conference, and it was about investing in yourself. And I'm really big on investing in yourself. Like, seriously, we as mothers and wives and all of that, we be doing the most for everybody. And yes, we may go get our nails done and our hair done, but sometimes it just stops at that. You need to really invest in yourself. It's the whole thing. You got to pour into your cup. You have to make sure your cup is full and that you serve from your saucer. And so in order to do that, you have to invest in yourself. You have to put priority on yourself to do that. So I went to Miami, and I'll get to that in a second. Like what I kind of learned and how that experience was. And just so you guys know, this is more like a conversation tonight. I will be having some tips and stuff, like, for sure. But it's more of a conversation, me just kind of being real where I am and encouraging you guys to do the same, right? So before I get into that, it is a lot that's going on. I know it is really, really crazy right now. It feels very uncomfortable. It can feel scary. It can feel a whole lot of stuff. But I put a post up today, and I really do mean that. And I want you guys to try your best to put focus around love, like straight up love, instead of fear, right? You guys can control that. You can control everything that's around you. That's about being intentional. That's about manifesting. And even though you have all of this, like coronavirus and all this in the world, right? And we are just getting more and more and more, just all this stuff about it. It's just so negative. And while I'm not telling you at any point to not, be informed, just don't consume yourself in it. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be 100. Do not consume yourself in all of this stuff that's going on right now. You have the power to change what your thoughts are and your situation just by what you're thinking about. But if you're constantly on social media, if you're following CNN, if you're following Trump.com, and you're hearing all of this and deaths and sickness and all of that gets into your spirit. And then it just starts to just create this atmosphere around you and around the world. So I just feel like that's what's going on right now. I feel like there's a lot of fear that's been put out there. I'm not saying to be negligent of what's going on, be aware, but do not get consumed in that. So I put a post out today about choosing love over fear. And in order to do that, I gave you guys a challenge. So we're going to choose love. Love is actually the opposite of fear. To me, there's only two emotions. It's love or it's fear. And all the other emotions and feelings kind of venture off of that, but love and fear. So we're going to operate in love. We're going to, raise our vibration, not get consumed in all this that's going on, and we're going to focus there. And my challenge for you guys was think about everything that's going on. So many of us having to work from home. Some of us really and literally are being sat down. Like, this is what I think. I think this is God's way of saying, go sit down somewhere. And he's making the whole world pause. So I'm going to look at it like this. So based off of that, what are you delighted about? What are you happy about in the midst of this situation? Mine is, I'm thrilled that in the midst of all this, the reason this happened, I'm thrilled that I get to spend time one-on-one and individually with my family. And I'm thrilled that I finally get to work on my business and not feel strained. That's what I'm thrilled about. That's what I'm putting focus on. And I suggest you guys do too. So instead of looking at what's going on and being consumed in it, think about what it is in this moment that this is allowing you to be happy about and focus on that. So that's the whole thing about choosing love over fear. And when you do that, that is the atmosphere you'll be operating in. You'll see it spread throughout your house. Get off of social media if it's anything about the coronavirus. I'm serious. Just stop. You're going to hear about it anyway. But just put focus on love. Okay? So that was that. I'm not going to speak anymore about that because that's done and over with. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about is my experience at the event I went to in Miami. And kind of like what came to me. So it was a women's event, right? It was women's empowerment, so to speak. It was a women's empowerment event. It was really nice. It was luxe. It was at the Ritz-Carlton. It was dope to the dope. It was like the women there was on point. They had wonderful businesses. Some of them still was in corporate. I mean, they were making some great figures. But what I really appreciated about the whole thing is that none of the women were catty at all. Like they just weren't. Everybody was there and they were uplifting each other. So the whole point of the event was, it's a lady that I follow. Her name is Gina DeVee. She had a book that she released. It's called The Audacity to Be Queen. Like, I don't even know how to tell me that. Like, we know how to be queens. But for those who don't and those who need that reminder to kind of like, hey, pour into yourself. The event was in Miami, It was called The Audacity to Be Queen. Audacity to be Queen. And basically what it was helping us understand that balance between feminine energy and masculine energy and the balance thereof. So to be a queen, you kind of have a balance of that, right? Owning your femininity, understanding like our core value, right, in the feminine, and that's to receive. That is to receive. And then understanding the masculinity side of that and then how to balance that out. So as you go about your day, if you're running your business, if you are, handling the household and commanding and doing things, that's like the masculine energy. Even if it's in your house, right? Even if it's managing your children, it's still masculine energy. It's very logical. It's very methodical. It gets things done. It's boom, 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 boom. The issue is we have been operating in that for so long, and I'm talking to women right now. Men, I appreciate you being here. You guys can get something out of this too. We have been operating in that for so long that we no longer know how to also leverage our feminine energy. We've been operating in the masculine and not even realizing we're doing that. Where the feminine comes in is all this stuff you're putting in place, right? You're putting all this stuff in place simply because it's, that masculine energy that's, I got to get this done, whatever. All those things you're putting in place, wonderful. But the feminine energy, what that does is it helps smooth everything out. It helps, you to get from one point to the next in ways that may not even be logical. It's your intuition. It's your gut. It's your, that inside whatever that tells you, no, we might not need to move on that. Or, we need to move on that. That's what your feminine energy does. Men, you guys have it too. You guys just suppress it way down. Women, we definitely have it. But the issue is we have been put into a society where we are operating so much in the masculine that we are not balancing it at. And we're becoming overwhelmed and drained and frustrated because we can't launch a business or we can't get a promotion or all of that. So I encourage you guys to really kind of look into that. I'll be talking about it more and more into the group about focusing around, blending those two energies, having the right balance and being okay to be in your femininity in your business. That doesn't mean like, being catty. It doesn't mean about being a bitch or anything like that. It means owning your womanhood, right? And carrying yourself in such a way in your business, right? And in your life. So that was what the event was about. It was great. It was wonderful. But I actually got some real, and like I said, this is just a conversation tonight. So if you guys have to go, that's cool. Come back, replay it, or go do what you're doing. But just put me on in the background so you can hear me. So one of the takeaways there, and I wasn't going to share this, but I'm going to share it, is it really had you to take a look at yourself, right? to stop and take a look at yourself. Do you like what you see, right? And that's also a lot of what I do with personal branding. I start with your core. So, I was all about that. So the thing about this that was going on was I hadn't been to one of her events before, and I went by myself, as I do a lot of things. As you will see in entrepreneurship, it can be kind of lonely. I'm not lonely in that, but I'm just saying. All right, I'm digressing. Anyway, so we had a dinner like the first night. And so I was meeting these ladies, and we had already talked about going like in Facebook before we had even got there. But so I hadn't met them, but I met them on Facebook. So I get there, and I was running a little late because I had to stay a little bit further out, and then I came in. So I stayed, where was I at? Like the Marriott in Biscayne Bay. That was beautiful too. That was dope. And so I had to change clothes, and I came back. So when I got to the dinner, I went to go sit down, and it wasn't really any seats. But also, no one really made room for me. So I was already kind of taken back, like, okay. Now, this is a new environment. I don't know these women. I don't want to show out. And I don't really show out anyway, but I'm not going to be disrespected. And so the waitress was like, okay, well, you can sit down here. So like she was making room. So I sat down. And it was kind of tight, but I sat down. And this chick looked, and she was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. It's not enough room. And so I'm just like, as opposed to where? And so she was like, no, I'm really sensitive on energy, and, this is just not going to work for me. And so I was so caught off guard that I was just like, what? So anyway, she was like trying to explain herself, and, I wasn't really hearing it. I wasn't going to move. I don't need your permission to sit anywhere, right? I don't need a permission to go anywhere. I don't need permission to sit there. Me operating as who I am, I'm going to sit. And thinking about it on our overall scale, think about it in a sense of like, I kind of was taken away like, okay, so you're trying to say I don't have a place at this table. And I'm saying, no, boo, yes, I do. And if it's not a place, I'm going to make room, right? So I'm not going all there. I'm not doing all this, but I stood my ground like, okay, well, and I was definitely feeling some kind of way because I didn't know these women and I had never seen anything like this. And so she was sitting there for a minute. I mean, she wasn't ugly, but like the whole thing was messed up. So, long story short, she ended up getting up and leaving the restaurant. So I'm just like, I had never seen anything like it. And no, I don't think it was like a white-black issue. I really don't. I don't think it was a race thing at all. I mean, we were all in there. We were all mixed, whatever. Maybe it was. Maybe she just hadn't vetted me as a new black girl. I don't know. Whatever. That's not for me to figure out. That was her thing. Because at the end of the day, I sat there with women who are killing it in the game. And we had great conversations. And we made connections. And we poured into each other. And she left to go get some pizza. So that's cool. So what I did at this event, it helped me to kind of dig deeper, right? And to see yourself in every situation, to own all of it, right? And what it means to you. That thing was bothering me so much. It was really, really bothering me. And so I had made up my mind that when I saw her the next day, like if she came up to me, it was going to be some, I was going to say what I needed to say, right? Still professional, but I was going to say what I needed to say. And it came up to me that she came up to me in the restroom. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not good with faces. So in my mind, I saw her somewhere totally different. We were in a dark restaurant anyway. I didn't even remember what she looked like. So she comes up to me in the bathroom and I'm washing my hands and she was like, hey, how was dinner? I'm thinking she wants some other girl that was at the end of the table that I didn't see. I was like, oh, it was, it was cool. It was great. And so she goes into it. She's like, well, I'm sorry. I hate that, we couldn't have figured it out. And I didn't want it to go like that. I wasn't saying you couldn't sit down. I just, was saying you couldn't sit there. Like literally that's what she said. So that right there, it dawned on me on who she was. And two, it was like, you really have an issue with articulating yourself and communicating because damn, that was horrible. So, okay. So, I was not in the space. I still wasn't trying to feel that. I wasn't for her. And I said, well, look, let's do this. What's in the past is in the past. And there's nothing that could be done about that. I feel what I feel. And you guys enjoy your conference. And just walked out because there's some other women in there. So she walked out. And that was it. I was like, yeah, whatever. But the more I was there, I started really, and this is the main point because I know I'm going on. I started really thinking about why did that bother me so much. Normally, I am really not bothered by a lot of things. I'm not. But it was just bothering me so much. And what I realized in me, because I was listening to my femininity and understanding like, okay, what is the message I need to get from this? Like, Father, what are you trying to say to me? Why am I bothered so much by this random chick? Hopefully she ain't on here. We're still good now. But yet this time you were very random. I didn't understand. I was like, it was really bothering me and why it was bothering me. So I went on and kind of like started really like thinking about it. And what came to me was, Crystal, I really don't come for anybody. I don't have a whole lot of drama. I don't take a lot of crap, right? And I'm very straight and to the point, but I'm not a shit starter. Like I don't start stuff, right? So it really threw me off with that. Like, and what it came to me was, I am not used to, this is being real with you guys, I'm not used to people not liking me. And it bothered me. And it bothered me because I'm so used to, Crystal gets along with everybody. I can go in a room and make people feel comfortable and have a conversation. I don't have beef with people. I don't start stuff. There's no one that doesn't like me that I know of. So what happened was, it was a reality check for me. It wasn't even about her or this event or anybody else, but it allowed me to see me. And it allowed me to ask myself, why do I have a problem if everyone doesn't like me? And I guess in that it became that maybe there's a part of me that was like, well, Crystal is Little Miss Perfect. Like everyone likes her. And so once I realized that that's what it was, it helped me to release this whole thing where it's like, you know what? Whether the person likes you or not, it doesn't matter. And I don't need her validation. I don't need everyone's validation to be who I am and to operate in how I operate, right? I know my intent when I'm going out and I'm reaching out to somebody and I'm talking to somebody and I'm talking to you guys, and I know my intent. So it's fine. It's fine that to realize not everybody is going to like you. And I know you guys may be thinking like, everybody knows that, but no. If you were to be in that situation and you were to be completely caught off guard and not understand where that was coming from, it might bother you too. But I said all that to say, when you really start looking at yourself and investing in yourself and getting clear to your core, you will start to unearth some things that you're going to have to face and have to address that you will have to change, right? The journey or the message or whatever will be for you, not how you respond, but the lesson was for you. And in this instance, the lesson was for me. And though I don't walk around and I don't seek validation from people, it did bother me that someone I did not know did not like me. And I couldn't, the thing was I didn't understand why. Like, I don't mind if you don't like me, but I have to understand why. And I'm not going to chase you for your friendship, but I have to understand why. And it helped me realize, let that go. Whether I understand it or not, whether I understand why a person likes you or not, it is not your business. It honestly is not your business what people say about you, good or bad. It's your business to understand who you are to the core and you to operate in that. So that was the biggest takeaway I had from that event. And I loved it. I really, really loved it. And I'll continue to share some things with you guys in the group. But again, I'm not going to go on and on. And I have a couple of notes here. Just kind of really talking about just like what everything is going on and how to still stay positive in this, right? Like right now, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but I definitely feel it because I'm like, I guess I'm an empath or whatever. Like I'm spiritual and I feel stuff. So I feel the heaviness in the air. I feel the anxiety in the air. I feel it not just for myself, so to speak, but yeah, it's not your business. I feel it for myself, but I feel it from you guys as well. And so I need you guys to understand this. And I've been preaching this for a minute, and I believe this. It is about aligning yourself. It is about aligning yourself with who you are, what you want, where you're going, and what you're doing. But understand this. When you start to align yourself, yes, things are going to start flowing in order and what's right for you. But things also are going to get shook up. Because the universe is doing just that. They're aligning to you. And everything is not going to be pleasant. And everything is not going to be oh, how I want it to be. But at the same time, when you start to really say, you know what, who is Crystal? Who am I? What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to put out to the world? And I'm going to start being intentional and aligning myself. Everything that happens is not going to be comfortable. And that's okay. That's all right. Because everything that is happening right now in this world, or if anything is, specifically happening to you that you feel, remember, everything that's happening is not happening to you. It's happening for you. It really, really is. And it may be hard to see that, and I get that, and I understand. It may be hard to see it, and it's not your job to see it. But it is your job to believe it and to know it, right? So again, that goes back to, we have the power to create this environment that we're in. We have the power, at least in your house, when you're quarantined in, if you are, you have the power to not let fear be all up in this house. It's not going to be. As soon as the conversation starts going towards that, and it's not like a meme, I'm changing it. I'm changing it because I don't want to feed more into that. You guys understand what I'm saying? So anyway, there's an energy shift that's going on. And this shift is happening because a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are starting to align themselves. A lot of people are starting to fight for that person that they've suppressed for so long. I was talking to a friend earlier today, Rakiba, as a matter of fact, and she had some very valid points. And you're right, there's an energy shift that's going on, and we are moving into an era, and very much so. When we get out of this, whenever it ends, I think we're going to be much better, but it's going to be a total different way of life. It doesn't have to be negative. It's going to be a total different way of life. But the energy that we're moving into right now, what's no longer going to work is this hustle mentality. That's not going to work. No longer is it going to work where it's like you are going to be okay going into something that you hate doing and just doing it for the fact that you have to do it. It's just not going to fly with you anymore. That's what I see that we're moving into. We are moving into, and you guys need to be ready to move with it, where it's about being you. It's about being you. Who are you? And just be that, right? So who are you? Be her. Who are you? Be him. And that is what's going to bring income to you. That's what's going to bring fulfillment. And for you guys who feel like everything has to be hard, or you got to hustle to get this, or you got to, take on 4 and 5 jobs. I'm not saying, I get it. If you need it, you need it. But there's other ways to get your needs met that's not going to require you to operate in such a, for women, masculine type energy, right? Or for men, only a masculine type energy. You're going to have to start digging into your gut. You're going to have to start listening to your intuition. And you're going to have to use both of those to navigate these crazy streets that we are in this day and age. So just start paying attention to the signs. This is nothing to fear at all. Look at this as an opportunity. Look at this as an opportunity. Look at how connected we can be. We don't have to be outside. I want to see you guys. I want to meet you. But look how connected we can be across the state, across the United States, across the world. So take this opportunity that you guys are given, where God has basically told the world to get somewhere and sit down, and use this as an opportunity to maybe to invest in yourself, to do that thing that you wanted to do that you didn't have time, or that, because you still are in your corporate and you maybe cushiony, or you doing all right, that you really aren't pushing that business because you have that as a safety net. Take this time that he is giving you to do and launch that thing that you've been thinking about and that you've been wanting to do, to reach out to people, to invest in yourself. I feel like that is the time that we are in right now. So let me see. I just kind of wrote down some different things. Yeah. Oh, another thing about that and procrastinating. I used to be, I'm still sometimes. I used to be a procrastinator, but I'm going to tell you how I got out of that. It was something that was shared on social media, and my friend Sherry is the one who sent it to me. And it was just a simple saying, but it was like, procrastination basically is arrogance. It is you being arrogant that God is going to give you another chance to do something that he already gave you a chance to do. And so I never thought about it. I just thought I was procrastinating because I just didn't feel like doing it. But yeah, I was arrogant and ignorant enough to think that, oh, well, if I don't do it now, I'll do it later. Boo, you may not even be, there may not even be a later. Like, what were you supposed to do last week that you didn't get to do? Y'all in San Francisco, anybody that's on 24-hour lockdown, what was it last week that you were supposed to do that you said you'll do it this week and now you can't because you can't go outside? So let's not be in that space. Let's rise up, raise our vibration. And if there's something in your gut that you know that you're supposed to be doing, do it. Move forward with it. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to get too religious on it. I'm more spiritual than religious, but I'm going to say this. God's word, right? His word's not going to come back null and void. He's not going to be made a lie. So if he said something is supposed to happen and manifest, it's going to happen. And it can happen either through you or it can happen in spite of you. But it's going to happen. And you don't want to be in that position where he's asked you and told you to do something, to go for it, invest in yourself, love yourself, put yourself out there, and you still hemming and hawing. Because what he'll do is he'll take that same blessing and anointing and he'll give it to somebody else who they will do it. I'm saying all that to say that to me because I do that a lot. You know, I still work in corporate. I do pretty well there. I have 1,000 ideas that I've been sitting on for years. And I don't know. It's just arrogance and ignorant on my part. But that's me. Maybe you can resonate with that in yourself. But it's time now. It's time now, especially with this whole thing, to just sit down somewhere and really look at those things that you wanted to do. Invest in yourself, right? That is the only way that you're going to be able to accurately pour into your family or into your friend's life or into the world. It's time for us to patch up all those holes and patch up all of that and really pour into ourselves. It is time to do so. And when you do that, then you will be in a better place to be able to help somebody else or to be able to be an inspiration to somebody else. Because, hey, love, because that's what it's about. Yes, it's about investing in yourself. And on top of that, it's not even, that's not the end goal. It ain't about investing in yourself just to be of self. No, the end goal ain't even about you, boo. It's about somebody else. Invest in yourself. Get up to where you need to be so that you can pour into somebody else's life. You could be holding somebody else's, this hair is shedding like a, you could be holding somebody else up. And like I said, I didn't mean for this to be churchy or preachy or whatever, but it was what it was. It's in my spirit. It's what's been going on with me. It's the reason why I'm feeling this shift and I'm feeling heavy and all of this and that. It's because I need to continue to align myself. And because I've been in alignment, everything outside is starting to shake around. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a negative thing. It is all happening for you. All happening for you. So I am going to start back my Live with Loves on Thursdays at 7, even though we started at 8 today. Now we have time, right? If you ain't got nothing else to do on Thursday night, and I did say ain't, come here, talk to me, come into the group. Let's chat. Let's talk about, my whole thing is about personal branding. You know, do you need help understanding, where you're going or how to present yourself, or you got 1,000 ideas and you need to bring that all together? I want to talk to you and I want to help you about it. So, help you out with that. So that's pretty much it. So my thing that I have been procrastinating on, because I've been having other things that I'm allowing to get in the way, is I have a program that I have created. I have put my heart and my soul in it, and it is a direct response to the women that come to me on how to bring themselves together, how to be clear and cohesive and confident in how they present themselves to the world and how they present their business to the world, or what business even to do. And if this is you, if you are needing help, I have a program that I have launched, and I am ready for you guys to see it. So I'm not going to pull it up here. You can go to my website, which my website is now up. It's crystalnicole.co. Crystal spelled just like the stone, Crystal, Nicole, Nichole.co. Maybe I'm going to put this here. Let's see. So y'all go there, please, if you're interested. If you are looking from clarity, if you need help kind of walking through what your personal brand is. And remember, when I'm talking about personal brand, I am not talking about your business. We'll get to that. I'm talking about you. Invest in you. You are your business. You going forward in this new energy is what's going to bring in happiness. Is what's going to bring into in income. Trust me and believe me on that. Then once you get there, then you can open it up and move forward with your company or where you're going to go. All of those are very much intertwined, but you got to start with yourself. You have to align with yourself. You got to get real, get rid of extraness and lies, right? And start there. So again, I'm really, really excited to be able to offer this to you guys. Go to my site, crystalnicole.co, and there is more information on exactly what the program entails. It's a 90-day program. It's one-on-one coaching with me, just like this, where it's not like out to the masses, but it's me and you. And we're going to discover what's going on and give you the steps that you need to take to have a dope, personal, aligned brand. Okay? So hopefully I haven't forgot anything. If you guys are not part of my group, which you should be, please go to Aligned, ALIGNED, on Facebook and sign up or join the group. I'm going to really start to be putting some more branding tips in there, getting on, doing more lives, and hopefully to inspire you guys and share. And the women in there are, let me say this, it's men in there too. The people in Aligned are high vibrational women or professionals or entrepreneurs who are there for encouraging. We're not in there trying to sell a whole bunch of stuff. We're not selling anything to each other. It's a safe place. And it's a lot of thought-provoking type of topics that are in there that can help you think about yourself, where you're going, and how to get there. So that's what that group is about, and that's what it's going to remain to be about. So thank you guys. Thank you for sticking with me through this little hiatus and allowing me to kind of, say, hey, I need to get right. I need to align myself, pour into myself. Thank you for giving me the space to do that, right? And sticking with me. And who is that? I don't know who that is. And by all means, who is that? Anyway, by all means, let's stay connected for sure. Shoot me a message, an inbox, a DM. If you're not clear and you're maybe not understanding like what it is that I do, but you know that I can help you because I've had people like that too. And let's talk. I would love to talk to you about it. But again, go to my site, crystalnicole.co. I launched my program. I'm sorry, the name of it is Aligned and Branded. So once you're aligned, then that's when you have that dope personal brand. So it's aligned and branded. I just launched the spring cohort. I am taking, I can't take a whole lot of people, about 10 women or men, because, it's one-on-one. So I will be on the phone with you on a weekly basis, right? So I need to make sure that I can give you that undivided attention. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining those who came and couldn't stay, and those who came in afterwards. Rewind it, replay it. I'll do a watch party. Those who may be watching this after the fact, it still remains. If you're seeing this, it's because you're meant to see this at whatever time that you're seeing this. So thank you, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. All right, y'all stay safe and keep an eye out for everybody else and keep them with higher vibrations. And remember, right? Choose love over fear. You ain't got to be scared of this. You really don't.